Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa and I am the creator behind Missouri Mix. Over here you will find knitting and crochet talk. You'll find yarn dyeing and I make stitch markers and stuff like that. This is part of my yarn stash wall, whatever you want to call it. I still have more that needs to be put away that I haven't gotten to yet. I am in the process of rearranging my whole craft room situation. I had a corner of my enclosed porch that I could only film certain times of the year because it's not heated or cooled or anything on there, so in the winter it's too cold to film out there, and then when it's like 100 degrees outside it's too hot, so I could only film a few months out of the year. And so we had a trailer that we were renting out to somebody, and when she moved out, my husband decided to take his office, which is essentially, or was, in our laundry room. When he decided to take his office over to the trailer, he told me that I could have this whole room to make into my craft room. And I am totally stoked on making this my craft room, but it's still in the works. I still have a long ways to go. I finally got my shelves in here, and most of my yarn is in the shelves. I do still have a bucket in my living room that has to be put away. I'm trying to sorta color code. There's yellows, tans, and browns, reds and oranges. This right here is blues and greens. This side over here is purples, and then we have pinks and white up here at this top one. I have a shelf that's just right above here that is specifically for like specialty yarns, hand-dyed yarns, stuff like that, that you don't get at like Walmart or Hobby Lobby or places like that. I do have a shelf here for specialty yarns. I have a shelf for bare yarn that I dye, and then I have a shelf up there that has already hand-dyed yarn that once we get our printer working, I'll be loading all that up into the shop to put out for y'all. So eventually we will get there. One step at a time. Now, I think it's been 2 weeks since I have videoed, and I haven't gotten a whole lot done. I'll say that. I have gotten a whole lot done, it just doesn't show, because the things that I'm working on, one of my main projects is a fingering weight project. And so, while I have worked non-stop on it, it doesn't look like I've done much. But I'll go ahead and show you it and get that over with. I showed you this in the last podcast episode and told you I had one round left before I had to split off for the sleeves, and I did. And I might have a whole sleeve finished. That wasn't creepy at all. Okay, so here's the yoke. I don't know if you can see all of the texture. And I have gotten a whole sleeve done. And the ribbing, I did just the same ribbing that I have up here on the neck. I tried it on after I finished the sleeve because I was like super excited, and I didn't want to continue on the sweater if the underarm where I split for the sleeves, I didn't want to continue with the sweater until I tried it on so I could see if the underarms fit the way I wanted them to after I split. Because I tried it on, I tried the yoke on whenever I got done with that last round before I split for the sleeves, and everything seemed okay. But I wanted to try it on after I finished the sleeve so I could kind of guesstimate on if it worked. And you can see all of my stitch markers. This one, because I was guesstimating on where my beginning round was, I figured it out and fixed it, and I just didn't take it out. But I have stitch markers starting at the first stitch that I made, which is where I attached the yarn, and I have stitch markers up every 10 rounds. Why? Because I would work and work and work and think, oh, I got a pretty good distance on this sleeve, let me check it to see if I'm anywhere near the amount of rounds that I need for the sleeve. And I kept having to start at the bottom and count all the way up and go on and on, and it was tiring. So one little trick that I figured out is I put a stitch marker for every 10 rounds that I did to count how many rounds I had before the cuff. I did 10 rounds on the cuff, not 10, 20 rounds on the cuff. And I'm not going to try the whole thing on because I do have it on needles and it is not going to work because I myself am bigger than the needles or the needle cord. But I will show you what the sleeve looks like. See, we've got the puffy sleeve. There is extra fabric in here, but it's not overly puffy to where it's like balloon. We do have some puffy in here, but it's not going to be, once I get the whole sweater on, it's not going to be this puffy. It's going to stretch out a little bit. But you see the cuff, I was afraid. I actually took, and once I got the amount of rounds that I needed for the sleeve, I took and decreased all the way around half the stitches. And I'm thinking, okay, that should be enough, right? Because my fingerless mitt, which hopefully I will be working on in the next little bit, I've been waiting on a good time to do it. I said I was going to and I never did. I'm waiting on a good time. But I decreased half the stitches and was thinking the stitch count is less than the fingerless mitt that I was working on, so it should be tight enough. And then I remembered my fingerless mitt that I worked on was made on a size 0 and this is made on a size 2. So after getting like 5 or 6 rounds done on the cuff, I decided, hey, I probably need to decrease some more stitches. And decreasing in the ribbing, to me, for what I'm wanting and what I'm going for, doesn't look right. So I ended up taking the cuff out and all the way back to where I decreased down here at the bottom, and I did an extra decrease round, and yeah, decreased every other stitch to take it down some more. And I'm thinking that looks super small, it's not going to work, but when I put it on, it fits perfectly and snug, just the way I wanted it. And for the bind off, I did a super stretchy bind off. Is it Jenny's super stretchy bind off? Is that what it's called? Where you knit 2 and then knit through the 2 and then you knit 1 and then you knit through the 2 together. Yeah, does that make sense? I'll link it down below the bind off that I'm talking about. I thought about doing a tubular bind off, but I figured since my beginning where I started at the neck, Since that is, oh, I got something on my shirt. I figured since that is a regular cast on, I figured I would just do the bind off for the sleeves and the bottom the same way I did the neck, so that everything is uniform. And when I tried it on, something that I was kind of worried about was whether or not to do German short rows, because while I have done them, I don't understand them completely enough to add them into patterns. I need to do some more research on them and understand them better so that I can put them in patterns. So this pattern does not have German short rows. You can put German short rows in them if you feel comfortable enough to alter the way the sweater is. But for me, I did not feel comfortable doing that because I don't understand them well enough to write them in the pattern. I want to be confident in my pattern. And so in order to do that, I'm going to have to study on German short rows a little bit better. But one thing I was worried about was the neck choking you, because German short rows help with the neck sitting right. You put extra fabric in the back. We talked about this. You put extra fabric in the back to sit right up front. Don't understand it, but it works. We've done them. But it doesn't. It fits just right. I'm trying to line it up with my neck through the screen here instead of actually lining it up with myself. But it works. I am so pleased with this pattern. I don't know if I've ever been this excited over something. So that is what I'm working on. I finished one sleeve and it is time to start writing the pattern up. Once I start writing the pattern up and got it kind of in order, I will be sending a tester's call out. If you would like to be a tester, you can email me at MissouriMakes@yahoo.com. That is my business email, and email me there and we will discuss all of this. And I do have a private group on Facebook specifically for testers. And so any test that I have, whether it be for this or anything else, that group is notified first above all. I don't put it on Instagram. I don't put it on here. I don't put it on in my email. I don't do any of that without sending a message through my private group on Facebook. They are the ones that know first. So if you want to be one of those people, you can email me and we'll discuss all of it, and I will put you in the group, because I would love to have more testers. I only have, I think I have like 7, and they're awesome. I have one tester in there that chooses to test almost all of my patterns, and she's awesome. She knits and she crochets. She is like the bomb diggity man. And all of my testers are great. They are awesome at coming through. Did I discuss the yarn? I know I did last time. This is my own hand-dyed yarn. I don't know if you can tell these speckles in there. This is a semi-solid gray, like a silver gray. And I might have dog hair on it because I sit on the couch and knit. We have speckles in there, and I used one color for the speckling, and then I used one color for the speckling and it ended up breaking, so I have purple and pink speckles in the gray, which I think is awesome. So this is my fingering weight base yarn, 75-25 blend, and it is so stinking soft. I love it so much. To me, it's a floofy, not like fuzzy, but it's plump for a fingering weight yarn, I think. Whenever this pattern goes live and is out to the world, there will be kits There will be kits to make it. And for my testers, if they want to use that yarn to make their sweater, there will be an option for that. So if you want to be a tester and you get accepted into the private Facebook group, that will be discussed in there if you want to do that. And we'll go ahead and go to my next whip. I showed this one in the last episode as well. And of course, I'm in the middle of a row. Let's see. And I just started the row. Hold on, let me finish it. Alright, so I finished that row so you could see it's all in its glory. And this is the right side. I don't know where you saw it last, but pretty sure I had just started the pink whenever I showed it last, and now I'm into the white. So I've gotten quite a ways on it. See if I can show you all of it. It is a simple triangle shawl at the moment, and this is the spine of it, where the increases are. I love how the spine is adding that detail into it. And once I finish this whole thing, I've got that much left, I am going to find a coordinating color to go with it, which will probably be gray. And I'm going to pick up on the edge here because right now it curls. And so I'm going to pick up all the stitches on one side and add a lace border, and then I will go and pick up stitches on the other side and add a lace border. So, and I'm wanting to do a gray to go along with it. So, yeah, that is coming along. This is the back side. It's just garter, right? Stockinette garter. I am using a size 6, which is a 4mm knitting needle. They are my Knit Picks knitting needles that I got for myself for Christmas, and I love them. They are amazing. The yarn is just a Lion Brand Mandela. I want to say it's unicorn something, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Whenever I pulled it out to knit with, it didn't have a label on it. I don't have a lace border picked out at the moment for the shawl, but by the time I get done with it, I should. My only thing is I'm wondering if I should block it before I pick up the stitches or after I'm done with the border. I haven't decided yet. The only other thing that I have to talk about today, how far are we in? 25 minutes, hey? For only 2 whips, I'm doing pretty good. Okay, so the last thing that I have is my finished object. This pattern will come out Monday. The PDF pattern for this hat will come out Monday. Today it is Tuesday, March 15th. By the time this video comes out, it'll be Friday. And so Monday this pattern will come out. And then Wednesday, the pattern will come out in video tutorial, and I'll have right and left-handed videos for this hat. Let me try it on for you. I look like a biker. No, it's just a super slouchy hat. And I I'm a slouchy hat kind of person. This is what it looks like. It's gradient from light pink all the way down to dark pink. It is made top down. So if you look at it upside down like this, you'll see all of the beautiful V-stitch mesh pattern. And so this hat is made really big. As you can see, it's really big. But in the video, I show you, or I tell you how to cinch the band up, so that if you have a size 22 inch head like mine, because this is way bigger than the size 22 inch head. But I'll show you if you take, and this could even go down more if I wanted it to, but you take in your fabric, say you take and pinch the hat. I know, looks funny. You pinch the hat and count them. You pinch it to the tightness you want the hat to be, and you count the amount of stitches that's in that extra fabric, and that's how many stitches you need to decrease for your hat. And that can go for sleeves and your sweater, that can go for whatever. But you pinch it and see how much extra fabric you want gone, and that's how many stitches you decrease. And that's what I did for the brim of this hat. It's made top down, the hat is, and once I was ready for the brim or the ribbing of the hat, I pinched the side and was like, okay, this is how much fabric I want gone to fit my head. And so I took and counted those stitches and did it to where it would fit my head. And you can do the same thing. I will put it in the pattern how to do that. If you want, if your head is 23 inches instead of 22 or whatever. I know a lot of people have more hair than I do. I don't have a whole lot of hair. My hair has thinned out. So if you have more hair than I do and you need your hat to be bigger, this could comfortably fit a size 23 inch head. My head is 22 and it is comfortable. It is not tight though. So if you want it to be a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, whatever, that is the technique that you use to cinch it up. Or you can take at the beginning, whenever we're increasing in the round at the top, you can leave out an increase round and go straight to the straight V-stitch rows or rounds. So either way, that's how you do it. And so the PDF pattern comes out Monday and the video tutorial comes out Wednesday. So if you like to read your patterns, then you will have that option Monday. If you are a visual learner like I am, you will have that available Wednesday, right and left-handed for those. Or if you want to get the PDF pattern and read it while the video is going, you can do that as well. I know some people like to do that. So yeah, in the video I take you through every step of the way, so you don't have to worry about that. This is fitted for my head, size 22, but like I said, if you want it smaller, just take out an increase round or do like I did and pinch the fabric to see how many stitches you need decreased if you like this much fabric in the back for your slouchy hat. So either way, we can figure this out, right? I think that's everything. We got more chickens. I don't know if I said that. I think we had them in the last podcast episode, but I don't know if I mentioned it. Got more chickens, so we have 6 now. One of them got loose yesterday. I think one of the neighbor's dogs got a hold of it because its face looks a little messed up. And I see feathers on the ground. Yeah. It was perched up on, because we have 4 in the big fenced in area and then we have 2 separate because they're a little bit more feisty. That's the reason why the person was giving them away, was because they were fighting with their other chickens. And so we have them separate, and one of those got away. And I went outside yesterday morning and it was perched up on the fence where the old chickens are. And so I went behind it and slowly made my way to it. Couldn't see its feet because it was sitting the way it was sitting. When it thought that it was going to flap its wings and go away, I grabbed it by its foot. And I only grabbed one foot. And it thought it was going to peck me. And I let it go. And when I did, it wedged itself between the 2 fence pieces, because we don't have a gate for our fence. It's just overlapped. And so it wedged itself between the 2. Couldn't get in with the other chickens, but it couldn't go anywhere. And so I had to kind of enclose it in that, and I grabbed both of its feet that time and had to put it away. The new ones have given us more problems than the old ones. The old ones, we just clip their wings and let them go, and they do their own thing. But the new ones, we've clipped their wings, and they still will fly. They still get up there, and I don't know how. I don't understand it. You're supposed to be able to clip their wings and be done. Not these. So. But yeah. Oh, I had some fun. Brown yarn. I do have some other things going on, some ideas, but nothing set in stone right now enough to talk about them. I do have an event. I'm in 2 events. One day is already passed for my feature day, and then by the time this video comes out, the next day will, for me, my feature day will have already passed, because it'll be tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and this video comes out Friday. So, unless you are within my Instagram or my mailing list, you probably won't see that in time. But, if you want to be notified whenever I go into events like that, because when I go into events like that, usually I have a pattern for free, or it is on a big discount, because they're blog hops, and so I contribute by putting one of my patterns in. And if you want to be notified for all of that, then the best way to be notified for all of that is to be subscribed to my mailing list. There will be a link in the description box down below where you can subscribe to my mailing list. When I'm in events like that are a daily thing, I email everybody daily on what is available for that day. I don't do it to spam anybody, but when there is a new pattern or a free pattern available every day, I want you to be able to grab that pattern. So I try my best to email everybody every day to let them know. Not just on my feature day, but everybody's feature day, because I want everybody to be spotlighted. Everybody to be in the spotlight. But anyways, that'll be that. Tomorrow's my feature day, and it'll be the sea glass cowl. So, if you have heard of that one was either January or February's pattern, I can't remember. But I do have a video tutorial showing you exactly how to make it here on my YouTube channel, and that will be linked in one of the doobly-doos up here somewhere. And I do have a PDF pattern available on my Ravelry soon over on my website. I talked about that in the last episode that I did. I do have a website now that I will be putting all of my product, and hopefully put one of my patterns for free on the blog portion of it once a month. And so I will hopefully have all of that set up by next month. I'm hoping. So stay tuned for that. Right now my patterns are on Ravelry and Lovecrafts. I don't know if you have problems with Ravelry, then you can head over to Lovecrafts and check that out. Other than that, that's about it right now. I guess I should start working on my room some more. Doug's going to put a fold-up table, like he's building me a wooden fold-up table to go in the corner over here so that I can do videos in my craft room instead of at the kitchen table. I'm excited. But yeah, I guess I will see you another day. I'm going to get off here and probably go wash dishes and knit a while. It's time to start writing the pattern up for this. I have all my numbers down and I just got to write it out. So hopefully that'll be coming soon. I'll probably put the pattern out like to test before I get mine finished. So if you do want to test that, you may want to go ahead and email me. So yeah, I'm excited. I will see you another day. Go do something.